What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to talk about a couple of afternoon games. You had the New Orleans Saints beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-28, and you had the Chicago Bears beating the San Francisco 49ers 14-9, man. First, I'm going to start off with the New Orleans Saints beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-28. First off, I want to give a huge congratulations to the New Orleans Saints, the whole Who Dat Nation, excuse me, on clinching home field advantage throughout the NFC today. The first time they've had home field advantage since the 2009 season, which we all know that's the year they hoisted up the Lombardi Trophy. And it's so ironic that that year, they lost to Dallas, they lost to Tampa Bay, and they lost to Carolina, resting their players week 17. So if they lose to Carolina, resting their players week 17 next week, it's like deja vu all over again, But, man, it was a very, very entertaining and exciting football game, man. Early on, the Saints went down, moved the ball, went for it on fourth down. They had a pass interference in the end zone, which I thought was a questionable call against Joe Hayden. But it put the Saints at the one, and Alvin Kamara ran it in for a touchdown. The Saints took a 7-0 lead. Then you had Boswell kicking a field goal to cut the lead to 7-3. Then he kicked another field goal, I want to say, and he cut the lead to 7-6. Then the Saints ended up getting another touchdown, to take a 14-6 lead. Then I want to say it was Kamara again, but I could be wrong. They took a 14-6 lead. Steelers went all the way down, got a touchdown by the little running back Samuels. Then they got a 2-point conversion, I want to say, to Samuels also, to tie the game up at 14. Then Breeze hit Kamara on the sideline, who just had a beautiful play, man. Just looked like he was going out of bounds. Then he cut it back inside. Then he went out of bounds to get an extra 10, 15 yards. And Will Lutz ended up kicking the field goal to go into the half. Saints up 17-14. Then to get the ball to start the second half, I think this time Kamara scored. I don't remember who scored their second touchdown, but I think this time Kamara scored to give the Saints a 24-14 lead. Then Antonio Brown went to work, man. He was pretty much quiet the whole game up until that point. He ended up getting a touchdown catch from like 4 or 5 yards or something like that. Then he had the next drive, he had a crazy left-handed, one-handed touchdown catch, but his foot was out of bounds. So the very next play, Big Ben hit him for an actual touchdown. The Steelers took a 28-24 lead, and they was rolling. They had all the momentum in the game. Then they got the ball back. They was close to field goal range. They handed it to Stephen Ridley, and he coughed it up. Saints recovered the ball. Then they went down, moved the ball. Steelers blocked the field goal. Then the Steelers get the ball back, and they call one of the most interesting, I'll say, fake punts that you'll ever see. Up 4 in their own territory, with like 4 minutes and something left. Me personally, maybe it wasn't obviously most people and most Steelers fans are not going to believe it was the right call, the right decision. But honestly, I don't have much of a problem with it because I feel like if you get the first down right there, you could continue to eat more of the clock. Or if you give the ball back to the Saints right there, you kind of letting them score a little quicker than they probably would have scored anyway. But that's just how I feel like Mike Tomlin was thinking at the time. But maybe, 9 times out of 10, you probably punt that ball in that situation, especially that your defense was actually playing well up to that point. But then the Saints, they had a 3rd and 20, and then Breeze throws a beautiful pass to Ted Ginn, who picks up the first down in his first game back from the Saints in a long time. And he was a welcome sight for the Saints as they've been struggling at the receiver position opposite of Michael Thomas, who, speaking of, ended up getting a touchdown catch from Drew Brees, a couple of plays later. Steelers get the ball back. They have a big 4th and 15. Ben Roethlisberger hits Antonio Brown, he's known as Tony Toe Tap, who drags his feet, gets the first down. Then the Steelers are moving the ball. It looked like they throw it to Juju Smith-Schuster, who looked like they got in the field goal range. And then Sheldon Rankins made a great play by hustling down knocking the ball from him. Demario Davis recovered, and that's all she wrote. The Saints lock up home field, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers are more than likely looking like missing out on the playoffs. As far as the Saints, man, the first half, they played great defensively. They got after Ben Roethlisberger. They was hitting, they was covering, they was shutting down Antonio Brown. The second half, Antonio Brown, he got after him a little bit. But this team is going to be, like, if I had to bet right now, I mean, obviously, I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. With them having home field advantage, with them playing in that dome, I don't see them getting beat over there. Like, I just don't. Of course, I would hope if my Eagles could sneak in there and then eventually meet up with them again, I would love for us to go up against them. But quite honestly, man, like, I don't see nobody beating this team in the playoffs, man. In the NFC, in the Superdome. I don't see the Rams doing it. I don't see the Bears doing it. I for sure as hell don't see the Cowboys doing it. I don't see the Seahawks doing it. I don't see the Vikings doing it. I don't see us doing it. I think this team is pretty much destined, unless they have some type of catastrophic injury, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. At times their defense, like I said, they got picked apart a little bit today, but at times their defense looks pretty good. And offensively with Michael Thomas, one of the best receivers in the game, Alvin Kamara, one of the best all-around backs in the game, Ingram as another solid running back. Oh, yeah, I think he scored their second. Yeah, Ingram scored their second touchdown, I want to say. And Drew Brees, obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, pulling the trigger. In a hostile home field environment. I just don't think nobody gonna beat them. And as far as the Pittsburgh Steelers, this was a bone-crushing loss. Now it looks like they need the Cleveland Browns to beat the Baltimore Ravens on the road next week, and they need to beat Cincinnati for them to make the playoffs, because they gotta make it as the AFC North champ now. They can't get in as a wild card. And that's a tough break for them because obviously, Phillip and the Chargers holding down the 5th seed, and the winner of the Colts Titans are going to get in as the 6th seed. So them is either AFC North champs or nothing. And it's very unfortunate for this team, man. This team has just had a very difficult type of season with the whole Le'Veon Bell issue, the whole Big Ben Roethlisberger issue early on, like calling out players and stuff like that. Tough losses that they had. James Conner was doing great, then he go down with an injury. The losses to teams that they had no business, losing to the Broncos. I mean, losing to the Raiders, losses like that they had no business having. And it's unfortunate because they played a great game today. That's probably the best anybody is going to play the Saints in that building. The rest of the way through the playoffs. After beating the Patriots last week, those losses that they had no business losing, that tie with the Browns may come back to bite them. It's very unfortunate for the Steelers, man, because they got so much talent over there. And I don't think Mike Tomlin is on a hot seat or nothing like that. But I know there's going to be Steelers fans that's going to be calling for his job. But congratulations to the New Orleans Saints on getting home field advantage. Then you had the Chicago Bears beating the San Francisco 49ers 14-9. This game was not pretty by any means. It was a slugfest. 49ers had Robbie Gould kicking Robbie Gould kicked the field goal. Then he kicked another one. And then Trubisky hit Anthony Miller on a touchdown pass to give the Bears a 7-6 lead. 49ers ended up kicking a field goal, Robbie Gould again right before the half to take a 9-7 lead. Then you had Jordan Howard getting a rushing touchdown to go up 14-9, and then it was just great defense back and forth. You had a crazy scrum when Trubisky got hit from sliding with a fight with Richard Sherman, and I forgot who the other guy was for the Bears. Then at the end, the 49ers, after getting a big turnover, there was a 4th and 4, and Nick Mullins had nothing but green grass in front of him to run for the first down, but he decided to throw a low percentage pass to Marquise Goodwin that went out of bounds, and the Bears ended up getting the win 14-9. Like, this Bears team, the offense, even though I love their play calling, at times, Trubisky is a young quarterback, so at times their offense is going to be a little stagnant. But defensively, man, they get after you, man, with Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Those linebackers, Trevathan got an interception today. You know, they got Roquan Smith out there. You know, Eddie Jackson need him to be healthy. This Kyle Fuller, who's had a Pro Bowl season. This defense is real legit. You know, you worry a little bit about their offense going into the playoffs, but their defense is real legit. And the 49ers, I still believe, you know, they Jimmy Garoppolo and a couple of offensive personnel players away from being a real threat in the NFC West or in the NFC as a whole. I like Kyle Shanahan as a coach. You know, I'm starting to like their defense. I think those young players they have defensively starting to get after it a little bit. You know, they just need a healthy, good quarterback and probably one more receiver and probably one more running back, and they're ready to roll. But with all that being said, the Chicago Bears fans, I want to tell y'all, I want to talk to y'all right quick. And I want to talk to y'all, and I want y'all to hear me very good, yo. You still have a shot at the number 2 seed in the NFC. You're 11-4. The Los Angeles Rams are 12-3. You have the tiebreaker over the Los Angeles Rams. If the Rams win, the Rams play the 49ers next week, it's a possibility that Gurley's not going to play in that game. 49ers, you know, play them tough for the most part. I think they're going to have a lot of fans in L.A. Chicago Bears, I need y'all, from an Eagles fan, from the bottom of my heart, I need y'all to go to Minnesota next Sunday. And I need y'all to kill their dreams, yo. I need you to beat the Minnesota Vikings because y'all have to play hard because you have a real shot at the number 2 seed in the NFC. I need you guys to go out there and beat down the Minnesota Vikings. You don't even have to beat them down, just beat them. Of course, my Eagles, we got to do our own part and beat the Redskins, obviously. But Bears fans, I'm asking y'all, I'm begging y'all, please knock off the Minnesota Vikings next week. Sincerely, Eagles fan, Mr. Dugas. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, give me a subscribe. I'm going to have NFL content throughout the season. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.